I'm guessing coal always spawns. Welcome back everybody to the 4th episode of TerraFirmaGreg. In this episode we are finally going to change our base location, and to do that we're gonna need some storage to bring all of our stuff along with us, because I don't really want to leave everything behind. And to move all of this stuff we're gonna need a bunch of crates, and you can see that we can use some iron or bronze to craft them. And we're also gonna need the tape, because the crates are gonna act kind of like shulker boxes, where we're gonna be able to bring them along with all the items inside. But for that to be the case, we actually need to tape them. We can't just break them as is. And also, before leaving, I also want to make some steel tools, because that's gonna be the last piece of technology we achieve in this base. So let's first go to the beneath. As per last time, we can simply drop down here and reach the coal that was near the graphite. Oh, there's a skeleton. Blast bricks. Oh no. I think I'm dead, yeah, exactly. Also, the reason I'm using a hammer to fight skeletons is because there's damage types in this mod. Okay. The skeletons are weaker to crushing damage, and instead other mobs are weaker to different kinds of damage, such as zombies and creepers, I think, being weaker to slashing damage, and some other mobs were also weaker to piercing damage, such as lances and stuff. Also, this area is good, but it's kind of small. But oh, silverfish. Okay, the hammer is not doing much. Hello again, my friend. Let's try looking for some other coal. Hello everyone. Today I am adventuring into the Nutty Patty Cave. Okay. Block of gold. Right, we are gonna need a bunch of gold and a bunch of silver going forward to make black bronze and then other colored bronze, such as blue and red, like the Pokemon. I'm guessing coal always spawns. Oh! Okay. This is really bad. I don't have the blocks to pillar back there, or pillar out of here, if for that matter. What can I do? Can I even make cobblestone from stone? Yeah, I can. Okay. Man, so much for a quick trip to get some coal. Come on, I'm so close. Okay. Okay. That glazer is still here. It seems it's unable to pathfind up to us. Never mind. Okay, yeah, we're out. No, there's two. Oh, come on. Did I even pass through here before? I think this is a new area. And I've got like 3 glazers chasing me. Okay, wait, okay. Where on earth am I going? I went the wrong way. Oh. I'm gaming. Did you see that? No, that's where I fell. Where did I even come from? Why is every single trip to the beneath a traumatic headache? It was from up here. Oh man, this is just like real caving. When you go into a random hole because you fit, and then you have to get back out from a 3-foot drop. I gotta say that shift run while being chased by a glaze was kinda sick though. Is this like those cartoons where there's like the villain and the protagonist both chilling in the bathtub? What is this? I literally just wanted some coal. That's all I want. Why are there so many glazers? What hit me? Oh wait, I think I'm dying of heat. Okay. Okay, the idiot fell. Okay, it seems the glazers, you're not supposed to evade them, but if you hit them before they hit you, they're gonna run away. Yeah, Okay, I think when the arrow that points up turns like orange, that means we're about to get a heat stroke. Ooh, that's like the opposite of what I just said you do. I can't see a single piece of either anthracite or coal. Okay, give up, let's get back. Okay. Okay. Serves you right. We're gonna get steel once we get in the new base. Let's just prepare the crates we're gonna use to actually leave this area. Okay, for the crates, we are just gonna need a bunch of bolts, and we're gonna need to turn them all into screws. And then we're also gonna need some paper, which I actually don't know how you make. Huh. Wait, can I even make paper? Okay, that throws a massive wrench in all of my plans. Okay, I've got an idea. We are gonna start with a simple cart, so we need to make a brass gear. For now, I'm just gonna smelt every piece of metal that we're gonna need, and then I'm gonna explain everything. Okay, I've prepared a lot of bronze and a bit of brass, with which I just made this small gear. And now, if we take some planks and make some wheels... Why can we not do this with this? Oh wait, I was doing it wrong. Okay, never mind. Okay, with this, in theory, yes, we can make the birch supply cart. I'm not sure how we're gonna be able to get our donkey to pull this. Maybe we need to domesticate it first. I think we might need a saddle, or are you just not familiar with me yet? Also, it's currently spring. As you can see, the ice and the snow are finally starting to melt, and that's gonna make traversing the continent much easier. Okay, change of plans. We are actually going to make the crates, and that's because we're actually able to make the tape. We should be able to make about 9 crates. We just need some more planks. And instead for the tape, the lead dev of TerraFirmaGreg, Pirithie, not sure how that's pronounced, but told me that we can actually make hardwood pulp from basically grinding in a millstone hardwood, such as the birch. And then with this, if we cook it in a pot with lye or lie, we get thermochemically treated hardwood pulp. And instead the lye is actually made with wood ash, for which we're gonna need a bunch of sticks. And with this, we're just gonna make a bunch of torches, which are gonna give us wood ash when we throw them in the water. So now if we just fill up the pots with some water and then place the wood ash to cook, we're gonna then get some lye, and then if we boil 3 pieces of hardwood pulp, which is as much as we can do with a single pot, we're finally gonna get the treated hardwood pulp, which we can bring to the hammers to get it processed into unrefined soaked paper. And finally we can let this dry over here on the drying mats and turn it into paper, or unrefined paper. And that's our paper. So bringing all of our base along for the trip is gonna be possible now. And now we just need to fill up all of these crates, which by the way can also store really big items, so we can literally put everything in here. And this is what we're gonna bring along to the new base, alongside the inventory of the supply cart, which is also really big. So I think it's time to finally tear down our base and organize everything into these crates. Okay, the donkey is finally pulling the cart, so soon it's gonna be time to actually move. Alright, and on the evening of day 82, I have finally set up every single crate, and I was trying to be cautious with what I decided to bring along, because I thought we wouldn't have enough space for everything. But in the end, I basically stripped our entire base of every single bit of storage and material that we had, aside from the buildings. I do want to leave these along. But as you can see, alongside the inventory of the supply cart and the 10 crates, we have way more than enough. So that means we can now make 10 pieces of tape. Okay, yeah. We can simply tape all of these. And then if we break this, yeah, we get the full wooden crate with everything inside. So we can basically pick them up once, and then we need to place them somewhere we want them to stay. So that's gonna be our new base. And aside from all of this, I think that's it. I'm trying to take a look around to see if we didn't forget anything, but... Alright, Let's also bring along our animal crank, although going forward we are most likely gonna make some windmills or water wheels. But alright, we are off. Can I cross the river with this stuff? I'm actually gonna have to prepare some bridges as we go. I hope you are not gonna have to cross too many rivers going forward. And I hope the cart is not gonna break. That would be horrifying. But for now it seems it's actually okay with some jumps. And we are finally off. And let's go south. All I want is for a more temperate climate. And the sun is now coming up. And we've also got a structure alongside some trees. Oh, okay, this is one of those. Okay, this one has got a bunch of hide. We can actually make use of this. This biome looks extremely interesting, but I don't really like the volcanic landscape with all the green sand. For now, I'm looking for a more traditional kind of landscape. Ooh, I really like this grass. Ooh, this field looks like lavender. Oh, this is gorgeous. Yeah, I think this is gonna require a proper bridge. Okay, this is hopefully gonna be enough. This is the ugliest bridge ever, but it works. Okay, we've got a village to the side of us, but this seems to be all like hostile mobs. This place is amazing, but I think this is gonna be hell to build into if I... Okay! This is what I was fearing when I started traveling. Is the cart okay? Yeah, okay. We could terraform this area and flatten it a little bit, while keeping all these hills around, and make use of the river for water wheels. And also build some windmills. I want to build many different kinds of power sources, but we do have this big wall right in front of us. I mean, I could realistically tear it down. Okay, I've done some research and some testing and found out that this area is probably good enough for the kind of place I want to live in. I think here we shouldn't see much snow until actual winter, or at least late autumn. And as you can see, I've also started to flatten up this area a little bit, and basically my idea is to have this valley all be kind of flat, so that we can store all of our machinery and factories, basically. And the first thing I want to do is actually placing down all of the saplings we have. And I also want to start planting some of our seeds. Yeah, I think it's better to just start tearing down this small hill. Okay, I've now flattened out the area where I'm gonna plant most of our trees, starting from the fruit trees. I think I just want to give them a lot of space. I don't know if this is too much space for each fruit tree, but for now that's what I'm gonna go with. Okay, I think this small part of the hill also has to go. Okay, the tree farm is now set up, and now what I also want to do is just plant some crops. Okay, I guess we're still gonna have access to a bunch of crops, just not every single one, of course, makes sense. Okay, the tomato died instantly. And soon I'm also gonna need to look into the greenhouse, because I still want to grow basically every crop there is. And now it's time to set up the most important building of the base, which is gonna be the storage area. Okay, so this is gonna be the outline, so let's just fill this up with cobblestone for now. And that's roughly gonna be the amount of storage we're gonna have. So it's basically gonna be something for these 9 chests, something for these 9, something for these 9, and something for these 9. But we're gonna need more chests, actually. Okay, now I've sorted basically everything we had into the storage area, and all that's missing in these crates are all the blocks that we can't really sort out. We need to place them and build something around them. Okay, I've now laid out the area for the forge. For now, I think I'm gonna outline the coke ovens, which we can also wall share from what I've heard. So we could have 3 coke ovens like these. No, wait. Also here I want to have the forge. Okay, sadly I don't have enough bricks to make the entire bloomery out of andesite, but this is still gonna work. And then I'm also gonna want to take some animals into our base. Okay, this is lemon, that's new. And this tree looks different. Is this an olive tree? No, it's cherry. Okay. Oh, that's another deposit of kaolinite. Okay, but I think for everything relating to steam power, we're gonna have to actually get into steel first. So, never mind. I think we're gonna need to head back into the beneath to look for a lot of coal, air, and or anthracite. Okay, so now we have 3 hammers working, and if we place the iron forge beneath this first hammer, we can also work the pig iron. No, the high carbon steel. Yeah. And now we need to set up a new beneath. And now we also have our first proper steel ingot, with which I fear we're still gonna need to make an anvil first, so that's gonna be a bunch more steel that we're gonna need. And it's time to go down again. Okay, here we are in the beneath, and wow, this is a totally different area from where we spawned last time. There's a bunch of cobwebs. I think they're a source of fluff. So wait, we could make some windmills with that, can we? And here I think we need to build an escape route. Okay, lovely. No. We've got some axolotls, which is nice. We can use the axe to get the cobwebs. Okay, wait, that's actually really nice. Oh! Oh, the range. This spider had so much range, I was not expecting that. Ooh, okay, wait, we found anthracite. Okay, wait, that's perfect. Although it had to be on a ledge, didn't it? Okay. No. The anthracite fell. Okay. Okay, and that's the last stack we needed. And we also have a stack and a half of anthracite, actually a stack and 3/4, so we can actually start producing more steel. And I think we're not gonna be able to build up our base in this episode because none of the trees have grown yet. Oh wait, I think I miscounted. I thought it was like 16 per cloth, and it's 24 instead. Okay. And some pants. Okay. Now let's see if we can use iron blooms to make pig iron. Okay, yeah, we can. So now in theory, if I light this, I'm gonna try not adding any kind of fuel to the furnace, because in theory you should be able to use 4 to melt 4 inputs, otherwise that's kind of dumb. Okay, it can. And in theory, if I light this again, yeah, we maintain the heat, so we should use a bit less anthracite every time if we keep chain melting iron. Okay, and in theory, after this batch, we can already stop making pig iron and instead start processing into steel. Okay, and that's the last ingot, which is also not gonna be a full one, so we are done with preparing the pig iron, and now we need to process it into high carbon steel. Okay, now we have the 14 ingots we need, so we can weld them together and, as per usual, turn them into an anvil. Woohoo, caught them just in time. Okay, and that's the last one. So now we can craft the steel anvil. So now we can start making steam engines and stuff, but I don't really know what I should be doing first, because the steam age is locked behind black steel. But we actually can make black steel, because it just requires steel, black bronze and nickel. So if we grab some ingots of each of these items... Okay, with the quantity in this vessel we can make 440 millibuckets of black bronze, so let's start with that. Oh, come on. Okay, I've accidentally removed some of the silver, but once it melts it should go... Yeah, exactly. Back to black bronze. And then we also need the nickel. And then we just need the steel. Okay, and now in theory, with 2 parts steel, 1 part black bronze and 1 part nickel, these should give us 4 black bronze ingots, in theory. Actually no, we need to weld them. Yeah, right, I forgot. Okay, that's 4. Now this weak steel, we just need to weld it with pig iron ingots, and we're gonna get high carbon steel ingots, which we can then work into proper black steel ingots. And I remember seeing that the travertine can actually be crushed, yeah, into flux. Okay. I tried looking for some other rock on the surface, but I couldn't, so we're gonna have to use this one for now. Luckily, we did spawn right beside a bunch of it, although we always got our good friends here. For now, this should be enough. Okay, now with all of this flux, we're gonna be able to melt some more pig iron. Okay, now with this... Okay, black steel. And 4. Right, one of or two of these we also need to work into rods, so let's actually do that. Oh wait, of course I need a black steel forge to actually do that. But we can use a file. Now we need a whole bunch of wrought iron plates. Okay, it seems I managed to die of a heat stroke from smithing. That's truly lovely. And alright, now we have almost everything we need for the boiler, because we can craft the casing, but we are missing... We can also craft the pipes, for which we are just missing our... Oh no, we need tin alloy. Ooh. Which is roughly half and half. So we lost 2 tin ingots. And also aside from that, we need to still find some kaolinite, because we need enough for a second crucible. So let's see if we can find some really quickly. Okay, and it seems that in this direction we're gonna be able to find... Yeah, okay, there's the moss biome. Okay, wow, there's a bastion here. That's adorable, but I don't really want to have anything to do with that. Okay, found some. Let's hope it's gonna be enough. Okay, and now I really need to dip. Also, if it feels like I'm rushing extremely quickly, that's because I actually am. Because it's currently day 98 and I have barely 1 day and a half to reach the Steam age before day 100. So I'm trying to move as quick as I can. And sadly, I think I'm only gonna be able to make the boiler, because I don't see myself being able to make the other machinery before day 100. Okay, now we can make the boiler pipes, or the tin alloy pipes. And now we just need to prepare some more fire clay. And finally, after a few furious days of crafting, smelting and plating, we can finally enter the steam age with the high pressure steam boiler, which I don't know where I should place. I think I'm gonna go like here. This beauty can blow up, so I'm not gonna power it right now. But what I can do is fill it up with water, just like this. And now once we place in some charcoal, it's gonna start generating temperature, and slowly it's gonna turn all the water into steam. And thanks to this, we're gonna be able to make use of all of these high pressure steam machines, of which for now I mainly want the steam forge hammer and the alloy smelter. I think these two specifically are gonna allow us to make more efficient recipes. But I think for this episode is gonna be all. It's currently day 99, and I guess we didn't make it to 100, but I really didn't have anything I could do today, so I might as well call it here. As you might have guessed, the series is not gonna end here, this is just the beginning, and I think in the next episode we're gonna have to focus on our base a little bit, because this is just too ugly to stay as it is. We're gonna finally start working on some proper automation, but most importantly, I actually want to build up my base into something actually pretty. And that's gonna be the first step after day 100. I would also like to thank you my 2 members, which still feels unreal to say, who are Brugave and Xosnek. I cannot thank you guys enough, but I'm sure you already know that. As per usual, I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, a comment and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.